liquid known as SCP-420-1. If this liquid is poured out, SCP-420 will always replenish itself. When SCP-420-1 is potent, it is physically, chemically, and molecularly indistinguishable from ordinary whiskey, although drinking will have an effect far greater than using a strong liquor. When SCP-420-1 is poured out, SCP-420 eventually losing its potency and changing until it is indistinguishable physically, chemically, or molecularly from urine. Consuming potent SCP-420-1 instigates a bizarre physical transformation called SCP-420-2 in 6 stages. In Stage 1, beginning 12 hours after consumption, the subject will start to have difficulty speaking, resulting in slurred speech that is not consistent with normal alcohol inebriation. Fingernails, toenails, and hair will start to grow at an accelerated rate, but also become brittle and prone to breakage. Nail breakage to quick often leads to bleeding and infection. The Foundation has had some success in curing SCP-420-2 if it is caught when still in Stage 1, treating it as if it is an aggressive form of cancer with radiation and chemotherapy, as well as a constant intravenous supply of Formula 420A09T-T174B. Victims thus treated have a 73% recovery rate, but a 21% fatality rate. From Phase 2 onward, this protocol can slow the spread of SCP-420-2, but will not stop it entirely.
What's the secret, Chicho? Going micro with Loom! Micro happens, micro wins.
Meow. Show the meow. Oh, meow tree loose job. See, there's not a meow. What's up? I thought you said about meow, not meow dropsitos. What's up, Kason?
In Stage 2, beginning 1 to 2 weeks after Stage 1, the subject's skin begins to show similar properties. Tiny insects start burrowing through walls.
My username is Pin.
They claw at nerves and sinews.
If anyone wants to send me trades, you
They're so young and already so hungry. The patient throws himself up against the padded white walls of his holding cell, screaming in agony and clawing at his throat. Doctor, help me, it's burning. Screams out. His patient promptly sees as if there's something blocking his airway. And there is. Inside the man's throat, raw red flesh is giving way to a growing mass of hard, orange
I don't need turkey legs.
tissues. They pulse and throb, but each one has its own little heartbeat, sending waves of sharp, jagged pain.
600 mil man.
You can feel the
Any ads. What else can you add, bro?
squeezing into his airways like calcified snow.
Want a drag? Sure.
Or it's like a strained, hacking cough.
Want to build pop crew? I don't need pop crews.
In the back of the throat, opening hot,
Have a nice night, you too, bro. Ooh, one build drag.
as though trying to force it out.
What for your drag? I don't know, bro. I do Fox and ads. One build Hydra.
Choking down a tide of hot, sour pus, and the tickle of tiny legs and unfurling proboscises. Again, and unleashes a jet of thick, yellow vomit.
That's all I got, bro. That's all I got.
As it hits the ground. His airways are clean. He can scream again, but this time, more than just air comes out. A tide of dark, moving fog comes spewing out from between his cracked lips and dirty teeth. Mosquitoes, thousands of them, the new colony letting off a terrible collective drone. They exit his mouth, his nose, and as he feels himself start to cry. They crawl out from underneath his eyes, each one feeling rough as a grain of sand against his tender eyeball. He can barely
Bro, I can't do that. I'm over.
amidst the swarm as he passes out.
I feel like Hydras don't got that much value anyway.
Mosquitoes he just
I do these four, or this entire room.
It's seen enough. There are 4 automated hoses up in the corners of the testing chamber. Each sprays out a thick jet of flammable liquid. This is to be considered a failed experiment, one of many. No matter. They'll try again some more. About a kilometer underneath New York City, below the streets, the subways, the rat-infested sewer pipes, lies a testing facility shrouded under absolute secrecy. And no, this isn't one of the many global containment sites of the SCP Foundation. It's a private lab owned by the Parasol Pharmaceutical Corporation, one of the largest internal.
I do Grum for Grumman. Play so.
The
Send me a duel.
scientist at the company walks into a nondescript cold storage building hidden down a back alley. Inside the building, putting a secret code into the lock of what appears to be
What for Tane?
causes
I don't know.
it to open up to a long, dark hallway within. When he reaches the end of the hallway, a biometric scanner for his eyes and fingerprints
I don't know what to do for pop crew, bro.
gives him clearance to an elevator that leads him down, down, and down. The dark eye of a security camera watching him through the entire descent. He graduated cum laude for pharmacology at Harvard, being headhunted by Parasol. After that, he spent several years working on the company's more above-board projects, where he demonstrated his intelligence, work ethic, and most importantly, his absolute loyalty to the company. That was when his supervisor
Placeholder,
got in touch
placeholder,
about
placeholder.
promotion, asking him whether he'd be willing to take a pay raise in order to sign several NDAs about something that
Don't got offer for one bill popcorn.
he was told in no
Add me, add me, add me. I'm not gonna remember username.
Parasol had the resources to make him and everyone he loved his questions about them.
Alright, thanks.
This would have made him say, "Thank you for the offer. I'm flattered, but I'm happy where I'm at." But of course, the genius
Garama and Madunda.
people. After this,
Let's go.
the elevator doors opened up to a secret
First round.
cocoon of plexiglass and white linoleum.
Would you do one bill popcorn for anything?
Was Parasol Pharmaceuticals logo. He's grilled about his credentials before stepping into a decontamination booth. Anyone going in is sprayed
Garama and Madunda.
is sprayed with non-toxic insecticides before being allowed.
What are you doing in trading?
Scanned one more time on the other side, and then
Trade for granny, I don't need grannies.
is the junior scientist allowed ingress into the facility proper. The place is an ant's nest of sprawling hallways, testing chambers, labs, databanks. But
I'm not rushing while I have what you want me to do so.
now, this whole facility and Project Cube
You know, I press my screen.
The scientist reaches his appointed work area.
Chill.
There are some parts of the facility where even he isn't cleared to go. On the inside, his supervisor is already waiting for him, standing in front of a bank of computer screens.
I picked it up.
The junior scientist gives a smile and a polite nod and files into position.
Garama and Madunda.
Bleached blonde hair combed back. Indoors due to his tendency to
Joe, I couldn't press my screen.
one of Parasol's
What does this do?
reliable middle-managers. The scientist sees carnage on every screen. Each one is a live feed from a secure testing chamber where volunteers from New York City's unhoused population are undergoing hideous transformations. They give silent screams, clutching and clawing at their windpipes. Others
Garama and Madunda.
to dislodge the growing blockage. They can feel sweat inside their sinuses. Some run around clouds.
Username is pinned. You can send me friend requests or you can follow my account too.
Insane asylums in his college years.
Oh, I picked it up.
Suffering makes him uncomfortable. The supervisor, on the other hand, looks from screen to screen without a flinch.
Garama and Madunda.
Face of
That's
some
me.
bored teenager scrolling
GG's.
phone. Save for a scene.
GG's.
The supervisor said, referring to a test subject who had collapsed on one of the screens, his tone flat and uninterested.
Reinforce them and begin cleanup. It would be a shame to waste the room when we still have so many tasks to conduct.
One of the technicians at the computer terminal nods and inputs some cryptic series of commands. In testing chamber C3,
PMI set. Excuse me.
All the subjects here. That isn't included in the promise of, quote, 3 hots and a cot.
Oh, Mallory Roost.
Spirit away off the
Yeah, send me a trade or duel.
in the scope of scientific advancement. They're dying too quickly.
That's my username. My username is pinned.
The supervisor says. The junior scientist. Lethality was part of the mandate, sir. Junior says. The supervisor gives us.
I never said that death was the problem, just the speed of death, he says. Do you find you often struggle with specifics?
Junior knows better than to reply to that. The last junior scientist who talked out of turn and ended up on one of those screens, donating his body to medical science as it were. Junior knows his place. That's always been a virtue.
What for blood La Casa?
We'll work on this.
I don't even know.
The supervisor
I'm sure.
What would you do for my gold fox?
retires to his lab after that. Here, outside the bounds of law and ethics, he could stand at the bleeding edge of gene editing science, something that Parasol had been spending hundreds of millions of dollars every year to advance. But the bloodsuckers in accounting had crunched the numbers and found.
I'm not trying to give a lot of stock for brain rots right now because I need to stream too. So I need my stock.
Annual expenditure for malaria
You know
control
what I
and
mean?
elimination is over $4 billion US, with 80%
Who's this?
of that taking place in West Africa. Remember, the study is, of course, a whole mosquito, and Parasol very much
Chat, my username is pinned. Send me trades and duels.
$4 billion being counted among the profits. That raised a question, though. How do you corner the market on malaria? You make sure that no one gets trained that way.
Bubblegum surgeries, Tic Tac.
Completely under your control.
Fuck, for
So
the
began the establishment of the New York
Fuck,
City
man.
facility. Crack genetic scientists and virologists.
Chat, if I don't play so, that's because I know you.
They were engineered
Or you're a different streamer. Maybe.
capable of breeding
He
significantly
sucks.
faster than their
I don't
competitors.
want either of
All
those.
going to plan. The Parasol mosquitoes will soon supplant all others, with custom-built genetic code designed to only be counteracted by proprietary Parasol treatments, controlling both the demand and the supply. With help from a little angel investment money from the fine folks at the equity department of Marshall, Carter, and Dark Limited, everything will be possible.
No, I don't need this.
Now, Junior thinks as he approaches his electronic microscope.
If only there was a way to stop the hosts from dying before they had a chance to buy those wonderful Parasol antivirus.
Meanwhile, a few floors down from Junior's lab, a cleanup crew in hazmat suits enters testing chamber 3, where the most recent failed test subject has been incinerated. All that's left is burnt remains scorched under the fireproof walls and floor, the stink of accelerant and burnt meat. Their job is to hose down the room, bag in the remaining material for further destruction, and generally prep the area for the next test. They've done this so many times now, and they're so absorbed in their work, they've started to behave automatically. Some wear earbuds and listen to music or podcasts to make the monotony of soaking and scrubbing less painful. They don't notice the subtle buzz of one surviving experimental mosquito flying out of the open door as they enter to do their dirty work. After all, who could really pay attention to one little mosquito? The insect swoops and weaves through the halls of the facility, too small for any camera to detect. Until it finds its way into one of the lower-level administrative offices. It senses the heat of one of the tens of desk jockeys in cubicle form and lands on her neck. The creature's robustness pierces her skin and begins to drink her sweet, sweet human nectar. It's only able to do this for a moment before the hand instinctively shoots up to the neck of the neck, crushing the mosquito. But it's already too late. The retrovirus has already entered her system, and over the following hours,
What for base Moby? Should I do it for base Moby?
the cruel iron
Stop spamming.
song is that things of their own.
350 no disco gram for the Moby.
Low-level Bistro has no idea what's being worked on down here in the lab. She doesn't know that the mosquito that just bit her holds the key to the death of everyone in here. And if
Glitch.
it gets under control,
Bubblegum. This one. This one. Three for three. It's rare. It's rare. Do it. Come on. Balloon trait. Pegasuses are not good. I'll do it for the Sammy or Burger. Or I'll do it for all of those if you want. Oh my god, bro. Weird.
so severe, she immediately collapses on the ground, coughing and retching. Her throat is
My username is Pin.
it hurts so much she can't even scream. But when her head wrenches back in silent agony, she feels it, the popping of those awful bubble-wrap cysts. A tide of ravenous mosquitoes cascades fountain-like out of her throat, filling the bathroom as a buzzing pall and descending on the mother that birthed them with her first meal. Long enough without being burned, every single cell in the for more of these abominations. And your average adult female body contains 28 trillion cells. Someone else enters the woman's bathroom to powder her nose. The flood of mosquitoes immediately overwhelms them, covering their body, flooding out into the hallway through the open door. They waft down
This for Doug. This for Doug, Doug.
heat and CO2 that they can find. Every person they find, soon enough, there will be more of them. The junior scientist has spent the better part of the day testing blood samples, almost lulling himself to a state of repetition-induced trance. When he hears
I want a Doug.
this frantic
You would do 2 grind for serve. Nah, I'm gonna trade for the Doug. Do a base turn. I'm gonna try and get rid of this stuff. I want the Doug he has. Duck for 850. Oh my god, bro.
supervisor is standing there, collapsing through the doorway, his body covered in a writhing fur, feeding mosquitoes. Junior has only about enough time to scream before a wave of mosquitoes fills his open mouth, warm, wet depths of his throat.
1.5 bill is secret.
Just pick your crust. Maybe pan pizza. Free crust? Seven toppings like bacon, ready for Texas cheeses. Great. Get it over under $10. Oh yeah.
Holy! Jesus Christ. Let me rejoin the game.
Want to know my shopping festival and luxury fragrance for less? I shop at fragrance.com. They make it so easy to indulge in luxury fragrances without overpaying, so I can treat myself to designer scents at a fraction of the retail price. This YSL Black Fragrance is one of my all-time faves. It has rich
I'm about to do a Nemo Flex. If y'all know who that is, he's a different streamer.
and a warm, sensual
Chat, wish me
finish,
luck.
perfect for day or night. So if you love luxury fragrance and luxury prices, fragrance.com should be your choice.
Proper goes, if you believe you're too small to make a difference, then you've never spent a night in a closed room with a mosquito. It is, in fact, fair to say that the humble mosquito has influence on human history. It's the world's deadliest animal to human beings, killing anywhere from 750,000 to 1 million people each year globally by spreading malaria. So it's really no small thing when I say that SCP-149, codenamed the blood flies, are still so much worse. At a glance, the SCP-149 samples don't actually look any different to non-anomalous mosquitoes. The anomalous quality of
Like, he always want me to change my avatar. He's so corny.
bitten by one of these tiny terrors. Much like how being bitten by a regular mosquito carries the inherent risk of being infected by diseases like malaria, dengue, and the West Nile virus, the SCP-149 mosquitoes are infected with a retrovirus the Foundation simply calls SCP-149-A. This virus is lethal and highly infectious, with infection being achieved in upwards of 50% of exposures. But far more frightening than the infectiousness of the virus is the particularity of its effects. The retrovirus is capable of rewriting human DNA upon infection, transforming human cells gradually into mosquito eggs, capable of rapid growth and breeding. It's a form of extremely potent parasitism that allows
God,
insects
bro, Nemo is so
to
annoying.
in a brief period of time at the expense of human lives. The first cells to change are the ones in the throat and sinuses. They will painfully alter into what appear to be cysts, an outer casing designed to protect the eggs within, before beginning to hatch. At this point, a large number of fully grown mosquitoes will exit from the mouth, nose, and occasionally even out of the eye sockets around the eyes via the sphenoid sinuses. It often only takes a single mosquito bite to be infected.
What do you have, Doggo?
Of SCP-500, the symptoms are permanent and incurable. SCP-149 is responsible for one of the more catastrophic containment breaches ever recorded at a Foundation site.
He
unnoticed for hours. The darkest
I'm cracked.
began to manifest.
He doesn't play with his friends.
Within the unfortunate B-class surface, and the entire area became flooded with thousands
Chat, wish me luck.
of anomalies.
Dueling Nemo flex.
Over the course of the breach, they infested
Second time.
100 members of Containment. The further perpetuation of the breach. The only reason why there wasn't a breach that infected the entire site is that one researcher through 15 of the facility, effectively dooming everyone still trapped inside, saving the rest of the site. If ever even one of those mosquitoes reached containment,
Garama and Madundang.
getting them back under lock and key would become defective.
I think he got that. He definitely got that wrong. If I can hit him, I can.
Protocol 42-.
Garama and Madundang.
Containment breach, anyone believed to have been infected by SCP-149-8 would be immediately euthanized and their body completely destroyed. It seems harsh, but sadly, bear in mind, mosquitoes don't just seek out human prey. Our best
Looks like you're changing.
is that they detect the scent of exhaled carbon dioxide from quite some distance before detecting the bioheat of their prey as they move in closer. Fun fact, it's actually only the females.
Garama and Madundang.
If these SCP-149 mosquitoes began consuming prey across the kingdom, the virus would spread out even further, given that there are already 3,500 species of mosquitoes in the wild. This is one genie that even the SCP found
Garama and Madundang.
in the bottle. Because of the potential
Holy, I might 3-0 Nemo. I might 3-0 Nemo.
are to be kept in a plexiglass box under multiple levels of security.
Sure.
Every 2 hours, these little suckers escapes, with Protocol 42-Charlie to be used
Garama and Madundang.
worst case scenario
Holy flame. Oh
the lives of everyone on planet
shit. Oh flame, holy flame.
Same message of caution to you, dear viewer. After all, if you find yourself laying
Garama and Madundang.
carrying through the air, the beat of time
GG's.
in your bedroom, you don't have any way of knowing whether that's a normal mosquito invading your most personal, vulnerable space or, well, who knows. But I can tell you this much, you'll definitely know by morning. The car screeches to a halt, the door swings open, and the doctor tumbles out. He lands
I just 3-0 Nemo.
on the dirt.
Holy.
The few remaining drops of stomach acid left hit him. He's put his hands against his sticky. He can feel an insect wriggling under his palm. Behind him, the door slams, and a pair of troops walk around to his side of the car.
Ooh. I don't want the baker. I want the catcher. Catcher looks cool as hell. No, I want this one.
This was the last.
Catcher.
The doctor gingerly gets to his feet and takes in his surroundings. He finds himself in a small village hidden among thick trees. He's not sure what's happening. The flights, time zones,
What's up, SG?
wrought havoc on his circadian rhythms.
Hold on, Dominic. I'm gonna put my grandma upstairs.
Remote and very brutal. He tried to look it up with the
Those two got Ramadan Fox. What do you mean?
a long time ago.
Oh, no. I wouldn't do those two for my Fox.
It is the middle of the night. The car's headlights are the
I
only
need Bahamas.
No one comes out to help him. The doctor brushes himself off and turns to his translator. The man nods towards a small hut near the back of the village, just beyond the head.
Cookie. Grams. Garam.
Words,
Pop crew.
ironic and
Moby.
deeply unhelpful. The doctor
Holy, all
doesn't know
this?
a word of Mandarin himself.
No, Ed.
In silence, the two men approach the hut. The doctor reaches out to knock, but his translator has already pushed the door open. Inside, there is just the dim light of a lamp. Almost everything is covered in shadow. It is almost dark enough that they can't see the cobwebs. Almost. Strings draped themselves over every surface, wall, and item in the old
Nah, I don't need grannies or EDs.
see what item of furniture is hiding beneath all of the webs. The translator reaches out to touch one of the webs in fascination, but the doctor grabs his hand, shaking his head. He hands the translator a face mask and a pair of
46 Bill Rosie. No, I ain't got no
translator
offers.
takes them, but does not let
Unless you're doing any of those Rosies.
deeper into the hut. After a second, the doctor follows, and he can't help the feeling that something's not right. Something's missing. Here, says the translator.
Ooh.
It is the first word he said in hours.
This.
He's standing behind a little curtain looking down at something. As the doctor joins him there and almost retches from the stench. Lying in the bed is an emaciated man. He looks like he hasn't eaten in days.
I gotta play
His
Sword.
wrists and ankles are bound tightly to the bed. So tightly, in fact, that his circulation has been cut off. The doctor can see right away the telltale signs of gangrene spreading across his palms. But they're too late. The man isn't moving. His bony chest isn't rising or falling. Worst of all, he must have been dead for
Bro,
a
I'm
while.
building no door. Really?
Like some kind of deathly funeral shroud. The translator mutters something in Mandarin. It doesn't take a PhD to pick up on the evident frustration in his voice. A whole night of driving out to the middle of nowhere for nothing. The translator kicks over a wooden stool. The sound is muffled by the thick layer of cobwebs as he storms out the house. But something is wrong here. The doctor can't walk out just yet. Toxicology. Acid field. Poisons, toxins, infections, bites. There are no bites anywhere on this man's body. Head to toe, under the layer of spider silk, there are no welts, bruises, or puncture marks. The only dark ingredients standing out are on his fingertips as they rot away from stagnant blood. Nothing to do with poisons. But there's something
Holy
else.
username.
A hut holding a dead
Not
body
family
full of
friendly.
spider's webs. But yet,
What you
no
got?
spiders.
New beanies?
Scream fills the hut.
Mm-mm.
The bed rocks violently. The doctor looks down in horror.
I don't need
To see the
that.
dead
Ooh,
man
swaggy
lying
bros.
dead to your feet.
Base ground.
He thrashes this way and that, straining against the ties on his limbs.
Would you
The
do
doctor
it?
calls out for the
Would you do
translator,
it?
who appears at his side almost immediately.
Base holder.
The translator shouts something in Mandarin, trying to be heard over the dying man's screams. But it's no use. The man throws his head this way and that,
This one?
trying to bash his chin into his own chest or hit the
I
top
play
of his
Sword.
skull against the nearest
Bro, I
wall.
see no, bro.
It is no use. The man opens cloudy eyes that stare wildly around the room,
Please
searching
hold her.
for something,
Alright,
anything
bro.
that could help him break free from his restraints. Without thinking, the doctor grabs the man's head and holds it steady.
Got mad at it.
He peers into the man's weeping eyes. He didn't know better. He'd say they only noticed if they had spider's webs built up beneath the eyelids, clouding out the man's
Crazy.
small, silvery balls of thick liquid gather in the corners of them. Too dense.
Swaggy Bros.
Tears from somewhere beneath the haze. The man's pupils find the doctor's. In an instant,
He won that first round.
it's almost as if he relaxed.
No, no, he didn't.
A guttural murmur comes from the man's throat. The doctor looks to the translator for help.
Swaggy Bros.
The doctor looks down at his patient. This is the part of medicine he had always hated the most. At what point do you let someone go? At what point do you say it's too late? Is it even right for him to make that decision? Looking at the man lying in front of him, a wave of sadness washes over him. His initial assessment
Swaggy Bros.
it is too late. Even if he could treat the gangrene of the man's limbs with amputation, there's still starvation and dehydration to deal with. And then, the apparent venom from the spiders. Except, there are no signs of venom. Perhaps it isn't too late after all. With the right treatment, there may be a chance to. The man's wrist
Swaggy Bros.
becoming a loose glove of broken bone that's easily pulled from the restraint. Foul stench of exposed rotten flesh hits the doctor like a slap in the face. He reels back and forth as the man pulls his other decimated hand free too. Unbound by his bed, the man lets out an animalistic roar.
Swaggy Bros.
In the bed, he tips his head back as he pounds at what is left of his hands. Jagged wrist bones barely housed in paper thin skin. Harder and harder with each hit. The doctor is frozen in the spot, staring as the
We're
man
done.
smashes his own head. Skin splits, revealing blood
Swaggy Bros.
bone cracks. Then with one last push, he seems to take every remaining muscle crunches his breast to the skull, caving the front half of his head.
Swaggy Bros.
Basketball. Silence, more terrifying.
Let's go.
Comical humor pops into his head. The head looks like just a red plastic bag that someone had left on the floor, full of shards of broken glass.
Swaggy Bros.
He almost smiles. But then, this then an eruption, spewing out the gaps in the man's head like water from a tiny pink spiders flood the room, shooting up the walls into every crack and crevice, writhing and rippling around their feet. That breaks the doctor's paralysis. He and the translator sprint for the door. They crash through it and cover the length of the village in seconds. Grabbing the door handles, they haul themselves up into the 4x4.
This guy plays so weird.
Slams it into reverse and almost crashes
Swaggy Bros.
as he turns them
Play
around
just like you then.
onto the dirt trail.
Man, when you shit.
The doctor gets control of his breathing, but his heart does not stop.
Swaggy Bros.
He can't shake the images that fill his head. Spiders,
I'm about to leave.
Doctor yells in shock and hurriedly grabs a sample pot for the man to throw the spider into. Two men sit there in front of the car.
Alright, bet now. I'm out.
The glass of the arachnid. It looks soft. That's the most bizarre thing about it.
Where that sneak up, bro?
This one looks fleshy. No, that's not quite right. It looks fat. It looks squishy, like parts of the body that get exposed in traumatic crashes.
What is you playing like that for?
Folds of pink mushy cell with fatty deposits. Except it cannot be made from those kinds of things. It's a spider. As they watch, the spider seems to recognize their attention, stands up on its back
What's up for that?
and graces the remaining ones in the air. It looks almost as if it is doing something that is for them.
Trash. Waste. Junk. Scrap. Imperfect. Misfit. Protected. Can you imagine? One of a kind. Beautiful. Impactful.
What do you mean, how? I stole the fox.
In seconds. You should be able to sign up for renter's insurance in seconds. With Lemonade Renter's Insurance, you can also customize your coverage to protect the stuff you love.
What did he do?
And prices start as low as $5 a month. It's about time insurance does that. Get a quote at lemonade.com.
Yeah, man.
It turns out to be a pattern of brightly colored dots across his pattern.
Can I do it with the little Paspacitos?
Drags his eyes away from the dance. The sun is gone. The night is fallen again. His stomach stabs at him in hunger. But that can't be right. It was sunrise only a few seconds ago. A headache had started as he sat down on his flight. Now, 5 hours in and somewhere over an ocean, he knows he's not going to sleep tonight. He can't get the image of spiders out of his mind. He needs to report this. And he will, definitely. But not yet. A spider crawls up the seat in front of him. His heart stops, and he sits back violently in his seat, eyes wide. On the floor of the plane, pink spiders everywhere. They're not real. They're not real, just his imagination. He'll fly home, wait for the headache to pass. Then he can call someone. But right now, he just feels too groggy to do anything. The adrenaline of his hallucination passes as quickly as it had come. He can feel the glass pot in his pocket tapping occasionally, begging for his attention. His head aches. He runs a hand through his hair. That can't be. Is he really growing gray hairs already? In frustration, he reaches up and taps at his forehead. Much to his surprise, the headache disappears almost instantaneously. If anything, he feels good. He sits there for several minutes, drumming a couple of fingers against his forehead, and before he knows it, he's fast asleep. All his fears and anxieties long behind him. Only they are not behind him. Once he touches down, he goes straight home to his apartment. No spiders to be seen. Why not? Shouldn't there be more spiders? He certainly wants more spiders. His headache comes back. He drinks water, takes the medicine, goes for a nap, and turns off all of the lights. Work. Even the tapping stops working. More spiders. A call lights up the phone screen. An international number. It takes a long time to answer it. It's his translator. The man's voice is shrill, panic, far beyond what the doctor had ever heard before, even when they've been running from the spiders. The translator is not making much sense. His words are slurred, and his sentences stop and start seemingly at random. None of it makes sense. The doctor turns the volume on his phone down. It's too loud. Government knows. Too late. The pain, pleasure, using a hammer. None of it makes any sense. The doctor looks down at his phone screen. The call is gone. Hadn't it been on hold a moment ago? Where is it? And where are the spiders? A smile spreads across his face. He's in bed now. Something red around him. His pillow. It's red.
Coco fanto elefanto.
The sample pot sits on his bedside table. Only now, it's empty. How did that happen? Was he standing in the kitchen a moment ago? He's losing time. He runs a hand through his hair. Webbing points between his fingers. He sits under his desk with a hammer in his hand, euphoria washing over his body. Just once more. 8 more times.
cell of his body, so powerful it almost passes out. Like a crawl inside. Even still, through the folds of his skin. Webs hang all over his apartment now.
I don't got a dragon.
That pain, it's just so. His wrists, his ankles. How many limbs? 4. I don't know. Where is he? Figures crowd around him. It's hard to see them. Something's in his eye. Everything is blurry and far away. Pain is bad. Head. Someone please. He screams and pulls against the fibers in his limbs. It's impossible. He needs to make it stop. Just one hit. Just one more hit from the hammer. That'll be enough. Something's behind his eye. He can feel it. Something crawling on the back of his eyeball. But that doesn't matter. None of it matters, except getting his pain to stop. No more headaches. Just one more hit. That's all he needs. Hospital staff have never seen anything like this before. They're out of their depth here. In the dead of night, they arrange for the doctor to transfer to a specialist facility in the back of an ambulance. It is a challenge to get him out of his bed, as the spider's webs secreting from his skin have all but tied him to the linen. As fate could have it, the drunk driver gives the doctor his final wish. Not seeing a red light, the driver plows full speed into the side of the ambulance, sending it spinning off the road and down the hill, killing everyone inside, including the doctor. When police arrive at the scene in the early hours of the morning, they find the driver sitting on his own, staring at some small insect by the wreckage. The driver is unharmed by the incident. He complained as he spends the following night in police custody. Said he feels a mild headache coming on. Anyone experiencing that headache is likely already too far gone from their exposure to SCP-632, an anomalous species of cognitohazardous arachnids nicknamed intrusive arachnid thoughts. Unconfirmed reports of mysterious spider colonies have been seen in Asia, particularly in rural China, for several decades in connection with this anomaly. In 1972, the population of an unnamed town in the Anhui province were found to have been almost entirely wiped out. An entire town of corpses, each with their heads caved in, brain matter missing. With 106 dead, with 23 injured, this case is to this day the deadliest confirmed SCP-632 breach. Strange as it may be, physiologically speaking, SCP-632 could be considered cute. Their bodies are squishy in texture, bright pink, and are in fact made of human tissue, brain tissue to be exact, coated in a layer of protective fat. As happened to our unfortunate doctor, SCP-632 reproduces parasitically within the human skull. The exact mechanics of this process remain unclear. It is believed that SCP-632 infects its human host.
No, why you say sorry, by the way?
Those infected have been testified to having been exposed to the following. Firstly, viewing a pattern on SCP-632's abdomen exposed during its dance, spiders induced activation. Secondly, making physical contact with SCP-632. And lastly, through exposure to as yet unidentified chemicals.
Garama and Madundang.
This is where luck was not on our doctor's side. He was smart enough to wear gloves during his encounter with SCP-632 in China, which may have been enough to protect him from being infected. However, upon his arrival as he fell out of the car, his hand landed directly in an SCP-632 web.
Garama and Madundang.
If he had remembered his car sickness tablets, this could have all been avoided. Within 3 hours of initial exposure to SCP-632, their skin is growing silk.
What was that flame?
As these filaments multiply and spread throughout the brain, the subjects report developing an obsession with spiders. The brain tissue steadily deteriorates, leading to changes in personality and mood, as well as irrational behavior. Over the coming days,
Garama and Madundang.
filament cells press against the blood vessels lining the inside of the skull. Subjects find that they can replacing it with a pleasurable feeling as the filaments release endorphins upon impact. SCP-632's reproduction. After 6 to 7 days, as the host
Garama and Madundang.
have to hit their skull harder and harder to alleviate the pain and get that chemical high. Eventually, driven mad by the pain inside their head, they crack through their own skull.
Just get a server then.
Can escape through the opening. Because of its unique containment of
Garama and Madundang.
property, SCP-632 has been given the Euclid object class. There is currently one live colony of SCP
Garama and Madundung.
Site 52. The colony is housed
Wait, isn't Eagle Up? I think one of them's scripting though.
centimeters by 20
UDK.
inside of insect and water supplied through a vacuum chute. All personnel that work in
Garama and Madundung.
with any SCP-632 and respirators at all times while handling live or deceased. They keep a close eye on any symptoms, especially headaches, feeling silk on the skin, or intrusive arachnid thoughts. A businessman from Queens had been saving for years to get something he's been dreaming of since childhood. A particular wristwatch, which cost just over $20,000. However,
Garama and Madundung.
hands on the pricey accessory. He noticed a small defect on the edge of the watch case. Grand for the thing. Surely he'd notice if something was wrong with it when he first picked it up. He brought the watch to the official service center out on Fifth Avenue.
Bro, what is my flame?
They checked the watch out.
Garama and Madundung.
You don't buy a watch like this if you expect anything less than the very best. The businessman's watch was stored in a several hundred others as it waited. What happened next would be considered unbelievable if it hadn't all been caught on the security camera. The first watch began to mutate over the next 18 hours. It shattered into a twisted mass of glass and metal cogs, its hands shooting out in every direction.
Garama and Madundung.
Spider-like creature then skittered across every single other box in the storage room. And after 18 hours, they mutated too, until the room was positively alive with tiny metal pieces. Meanwhile, Bart began to notice that his standard issue was unusually uncomfortable to hold. Perhaps he developed a third issue, carpal tunnel syndrome. It's not that uncommon in the profession. But no, it was actually the strange metal nub forming on his pistol's grip. He had no idea that, inside the gun, a bizarre transformation was beginning to take place. And within 3 days of the nub first appearing on the handgun, it underwent a remarkable metamorphosis. Much like the watches, the gun mutated, growing 4 legs and an eye, and began running through Site 19, causing chaos. The gun began firing with reckless abandon, sending bullets ricocheting off the walls, injuring Dr. Jack Fleck.
Yeah, I'm trading.
As they attempted to disable the rogue pistol. It was able to fire in a sustained fashion for over a solid minute before stopping to synthesize new bullets through unknown means. Eventually, the weapon was captured and subsequently destroyed for presenting an active danger to SCP Foundation personnel. Meanwhile, in an insurance provider's office building out in South Dakota, one of the many desk drones working their fingers to the bone typing up insurance claims barely noticed a small plastic nub forming on the side of their wireless keyboard. It remained this way for a relatively uneventful 6 days before finally undergoing a complete transformation. It became a chaotic configuration of legs and keys, spelling out the words, "Ask, we will answer," on the top of its body. It wandered around the office, seemingly brushing up against as many other pieces of technology as it could. The astonished workers found that if you typed any complete sentence onto this mechanical creature's keys, it would be rendered inactive for around an hour, much to the relief of everyone who was there at the time. In New Mexico, a small child was unable to life, a new talking action figure with a plastic key. Didn't really pay any mind to it. However, within 10 days of the nut's appearance, the toy took on a transformation that was impossible to ignore. The toy burst open, its head growing 4 legs and skittering away from its own broken body. When the little boy saw this, he called for his mother. When it began skittering towards him at surprising speed, he screamed and fled. The head, which had also somehow lost its eyes to an even more frightening effect, kept repeating, "There's something wrong with my toy." In the little boy's voice. If it wasn't for the Foundation amnestics that he and his mother would later receive, he likely would have been scarred for life by the anomalous experience. In Idaho, an old woman who lived alone noticed something strange going on with her television set. A lump of warped, bulbous plastic had started forming on the top. She decided to call a TV repairman, or perhaps her son, who didn't call her nearly enough, to come over and take a look at it. But as things often do in life, she let it slip her mind. 2 weeks passed without her addressing it. This would prove to be a mistake. Not that any TV repairman really could have done anything to help. The TV sprouted 4 long spider-like legs and a single eye. The screen perpetually showed shaky footage of an unmoving figure suspended midair in the middle of a blank, featureless room. This change from the usual programming disturbed the old woman greatly, even more so as the television began advancing towards her. Meanwhile, soldiers operating a tank stationed in Syria noticed a small metal welt on its chassis. Of course, given the natural wear and tear experienced by tanks on an active battlefield, none of them paid much mind to such a tiny defect. It continued like this for a month and a half, until tragedy finally struck in the most unexpected fashion. Much like the handgun over in Site 19, the tank grew legs and started firing in every direction, devastating nearby infrastructure and killing scores of people around it. It seemed not to discriminate, or even really continue. It fired in all directions at soldiers and civilians alike, and it took several groups of soldiers armed with anti-tank weaponry to finally put it down. No explanation was ever given for what happened that day. Most people just assumed that it was a tank operator who snapped under the intense pressures of war and gone berserk. But the truth would forever elude them. So what is the truth? Why has all this machinery, from innocent to disastrous, been taking on a mind of its own and causing chaos across?
DraftKings Casino gave your spins an upgrade with new Flex Spin. Forget one. Now you can which spins on. Exclusively on DraftKings Casino. All players play for your daily share of 100 million Flex Spins on over 100 slots.
Family proof your goal with Life 360.
Less style, less sexy, some dress but it is also a swimsuit. This is good for going to water parks, walking the beach, going to resorts. It's a little bit more covered and modest, but still sexy. It just looks like a swimsuit dress. You can definitely wear this one for you too, you guys. Play with it. It can hang all the way down. You can pick it up to make it a little bit more sexy. You can show one leg if you want. You can pull it all the way up. You can leave it all the way down. There's so many different ways to wear this swimsuit dress. It really is. I love this one. This is definitely more coverage. The straps.
Oh, finally, bro.
Light padding inside, and it is movable. I love that. I love that option. This is cool.
Past the globe. Allow me to explain. These are just a few entries from the filing cabinet of incident reports belonging to SCP-658, a parasitic mechanical entity that's also known as the botfly. SCP-658 instances are unique
Oh my god, bro.
characterized by their 4 long, thin legs on the underside of the body. They reproduce with contact with any man-made mechanical objects, though the exact means of parasitic infection are unclear. Simply making contact seems to be enough to turn an object into a breeding pod for a growing SCP-658 embryo, and gestation time is dependent on the size and complexity of the infected object. The embryo represents itself as a metal or plastic nub on the surface of the object, appearing to the untrained eye like some kind of minor production defect. This keeps the embryo safe as it develops, growing and absorbing the surrounding technology into its own biomechanical makeup. Incidentally, the name botfly is a play on an equally unpleasant, non-anomalous parasitic insect, Latin name Ostridae, which implant the living flesh of their victims, where they incubate, grow, and eventually burst out from the skin. The similarities in breeding patterns of non-anomalous botflies and SCP-658 are self-evident. These entities
I don't know what they'll ever do with them.
its stature of 5 millimeters squared to hundreds of meters. The size of an SCP-658 instance, much like its aforementioned gestation period, depends entirely on its host object. And Foundation research has indicated that any complex man-made mechanical object is susceptible to parasitic infection. From cell phones to jumbo jets, all technology is on the table for 658. And as indicated through the eyewitness accounts and case files, the appearance of the individual SCP-658 instances are reflective of whatever technology incubated them. This influence of the host technology
Bro, I need stock, bro. You're being weird.
with more benign objects like phones or wristwatches becoming many equally benign creatures, and weapons, such as firearms or combat-ready vehicles, take
I don't really need my stock. I don't have. These are the only base things I have, bro.
alone has thousands of vehicles, and even more firearms. There are naturally some concerns about what would happen if ever an SCP-658 outbreak got out of control in a military base. Thanks to the extreme proliferation of and dependence on technology in our modern era, a large-scale containment breach of SCP-658 would lead to a catastrophic.
Said Fox and base, right?
The SCP Foundation is keeping an extremely close eye on any signs of SCP-658.
Base gold. Oh my god.
Technologically advanced
I need stock, bro.
populated locations.
Alright, bro, I'll do it.
That these creatures are capable
I'm only hesitant because I need stock for streaming, bro.
ability even further. For example, during one test, it was proven that one
I'll do it anyway, bro.
instance was capable of impregnating another. The result was it transforming into a creature with 8 legs and 2 eyes that was capable of impregnating any objects they touched with 2 embryos rather than the typical single embryo. While senior researchers deemed it unwise to see exactly how far the 658 interbreeding experiments could go, it stands to reason that it could also be subjected to an exponential increase. One hypermutated 658 instance could be capable of mass impregnating larger pieces of technology with hundreds, if not thousands, of embryos. You can see how these often tiny and seemingly harmless creatures could quickly become a big problem for all of us. Picture every vehicle, cars, trucks, motorcycles, scooters, ATVs, vans, Humvees, tanks, planes, helicopters, speedboats, yachts, cruise ships, battleships, all becoming hypermutated SCP-658 instances. Then add every phone, every laptop, every computer, every tablet, every TV, every printer, every kitchen appliance, every gun, all being infected with SCP-658 embryos and joining the horde. Given how much all of us, including the SCP Foundation, rely on this technology and so much more in our work and daily lives, it's clear how the uncontrolled proliferation of SCP-658 has completely altered
MD, I'll do that. I'll do that. Send me a trade.
the worst case scenarios for even some of the more interesting SCPs can be startlingly bleak. Due to the mechanical nature of these anomalies, all connections to the Church of the Broken God and their illicit activities are being explored.
Nah, I don't need nukes.
Personnel. Containment protocols on SCP-658 are extremely clear. Any instance of SCP-658 no larger than 50 centimeters across any axis, considered to be a small SCP-658, stored alone in a sealed box, not being used in active testing. Special
Ooh, that catch supply.
that the box must be kept closed through low-tech means, and we mean a true return to basics.
I don't need nukes. But I want that I would do the drag for 450.
Or, as some researchers prefer, weighing down the lid with heavy books. Anything with a more complex locking mechanism is capable of being impregnated by SCP-658, completely negating containment. Any 658 samples larger than 50 centimeters are to be destroyed as soon as possible after being apprehended by Foundation personnel. This destroy on-site order is also applicable for any technology infected by SCP-658 outside of intentional testing scenarios. In order to avoid population growth during containment, all captured SCP-658 samples must be kept at least 3 meters away from any man-made technology capable of sustaining
Yeah, what's your question?
SCP-658 embryo. If unsure of whether an object is applicable, researchers and guards are told to err on the side of caution when it comes to this anomaly, which has been classified as Euclid. After all, when it comes to SCP-658, it's far better to be safe than sorry. A truck pulls up in front of a quiet suburban home.
Stop spamming, bro.
The truck's flank reads Exterminator. It's not the most glamorous job, but hey, someone's got to do it. In all his years,
I don't know. People don't really trade for reader bikes.
seen it all. He's never taken a job that he couldn't handle. As he looks out at this sprawling suburban home, he can't help but notice the nicely manicured lawn and the beautiful sculpted pavilions. The trash cans are neatly stacked on the curb. It doesn't look like the sort of home that would have a vermin colony. But then again, this exterminator knows better than anyone that looks. People often think that only run-down smells will attract vermin, but he knows that even the cleanest kitchens can still have a problem with unwelcome invaders. He jumps from his truck and walks up to the front door, carrying his equipment on his back and a clipboard in his hand. He quickly reviews the specifics of his job and paper out.
Promise for that.
This company complaining about a major cockroach demanding that they right away. Exterminator politely. Part of his job is assuaging frantic customers. He's used to this sort of thing. So many homeowners are absolutely terrified of insects that they fall to at the sight of a spider or a cockroach. He's accustomed to dealing with all manner of creepy crawlies, so he's not at all worried. He's sure this will be an easy job. You're in good hands. Just blow those roaches dead, he says, recalling the company slogan that he's required to repeat. They're in the basement, says the old woman. I've tried to kill them, but there's too many of them. And they're too fast. I'm way too old to be running after a bunch of bugs. Tired of these old ones down. I was down there with the spray can myself, but I just keep getting too tired. Almost like those bugs were making me sleepy. Of course, ma'am. The exterminator can barely keep from rolling his eyes as this old woman continues to
I don't need that nuke, bro.
in the basement. Of course, there's an easy explanation for all of this. This woman is very old, so she wouldn't be able to run around much without tiring herself out. That's much more plausible than believing that the cockroaches were
I don't need the
somehow
nuke.
magically draining her energy. But again, he's used to listening to all sorts of crazy stories from frightened clients. He doesn't give it much thought.
Two
Then I'll take a
guns.
look and see what kind of problem you have. The exterminator opens the door to the basement, peers down into the darkness. He gropes blindly for the light switch, and eventually his fingers connect. He flips the switch, and a bare light bulb hanging from the ceiling flickers on. The stairs leading down into the depths of the basement are warped and rickety. He makes a mental note to watch his step as he descends. The boards ominously creak under his feet. The basement is filled with junk, all the accumulated debris of the owner's whole life. He sees piles of cardboard boxes, overflowing with old books and raggedy clothes. Paint cans are stacked in the corner and define the potential of the fire. The boiler rattles and wheezes. It sounds like it might need to be replaced very soon. The air smells damp and musty, and he wonders if the old woman has ever cleaned this basement. Looking at this mess, it's no wonder that she would have a problem with cockroaches. The exterminator can't help but think about how messy and decrepit this cellar looks compared to the immaculate facade of the house outside. The exterminator pulls out his flashlight and flicks it on. He aims it into the corners, hoping to see some evidence of this insect invasion.
What's up, email?
The old woman described the basement infested with hordes of insects, yet he doesn't see a single one. He stifles a yawn.
I'll do it for the love of Dorito or a taco.
His job must be more draining than he thought, because he's already feeling spent. Could it be that the old woman was right? Is there something in the basement that is making him sleepy? Could it be something about those cockroaches that she blames? No, that's just ridiculous. He knows enough about cockroaches to know that can't be the case. He's not about to start believing.
No, I wouldn't trade.
He's a rational guy. He knows that you can't lose your head and expect to do well in this line of work. Besides, he reminds himself, he still hasn't actually seen any evidence of a cockroach problem at all. He continues to poke around the basement and still finds nothing. He frowns. This is really concerning. First of all, he doesn't relish the idea of explaining to the old woman upstairs that she doesn't actually have a cockroach problem at all. She's probably not going to take kindly to him telling her that she's delusional. But also, he was hoping that this would be a big job. If he can't find any bugs, he'll be able to justify charging the old woman for this visit. What a waste of his time. Suddenly, he catches movement out of the corner of his eye. He spins around, aiming his flashlight into the corner, just quick enough to see something scuttle through a crack in the wall. Did he imagine that? No, he tells himself. He definitely saw something. Great. He approaches the corner, his spirit suddenly buoying again. He's happy that he'll actually have something to report to his upstairs client. Maybe he'll find a whole nest in that crack. That would be great. He could justify recommending a full house fumigation then, and that would bring some much needed cash into the business. He narrows his eyes and peers closer. Even with his flashlight being trained on the dark, it's so dark in the basement that it's hard to see. He can see the wooden boards of the house's super.
My username is pinned.
If he squints just right, he thinks he can just see something squirming right there between the boards. Whatever it is, it stops moving when his flashlight beam washes over it. That's very unusual. He knows from experience that when you turn over a rock, bugs will always race for cover. They aren't smart enough to play dead. Yet that's exactly what it looks like this.
Whole bay for your drip.
He rubs his eyes with his hand, trying to break away his sudden sleepiness. He's feeling even drowsier than before. He really needs to finish this job. He moves in closer, and the cockroach decides to make a break for it. The insect skitters away, desperately trying to worm its little gray body between the boards to escape. The exterminator moves fast. He pulls a pair of tweezers from his pocket and pinches them closed on the squirming insect's abdomen. He wriggles away. Holds it up close.
This is my whole base. These 5. And these 3.
He's seen every kind of insect in his time. He can recognize a cockroach when he sees it. This is no cockroach. He can tell from a glance that he's looking at a perfectly harmless cricket. Like so many people, that old woman must have just panicked at the sight of a bug and assumed it was a cockroach. exterminator like him thinks better of holding this thing too close to his face. Those stingers? Could this bug be poisonous? And even stranger, if he looks closer, he thinks he might even see metal wires protruding from its exoskeleton.
Hams, I'm good. I'm not adding nothing.
Yawns again, rubbing his eyes. He suddenly feels so sleepy. What's wrong with him? Did he not get enough sleep last night? I should have had a second cup of coffee this morning, he tells himself. Why can't I keep focused? His words trail off as, all at once, sleep overtakes him. He collapses to the floor with a thud, dropping his tweezers. The cricket bounces free as the tweezers fall from his hands. The cricket drops to the floor and quickly rights itself. Instead of running, though, the tiny insect turns around. It skitters toward the prone form of the exterminator, making a straight line for his head, as if it were moving with intelligent purpose. This doesn't look like the frantic, stimulus response movements of an insect. The insect crawls over the slumbering man's face, hoisting itself over his chin, then lips, and then right up to his left nostril. With one sudden movement, the cricket slithers up his nose and disappears. The exterminator snorts and mumbles in his sleep. The sensations of an insect wriggling up his nose does nothing to rouse him from his sleep. After a few minutes, the exterminator blinks.
I'm not adding.
Sits up with a groan and rubs his head. What the hell just happened?
That winning feeling you love? Bring it everywhere you go with the Hollywood Casino app. Your next big thrill is just a tap away. New players get 300 bonus spins, plus up to 500 back in casino credits. Hollywood Casino. Download and play today.
Holy shit. Holy moly. That was a huge W, bro. Thank you, Hamza. I would have added if I wasn't a streamer. I would have done my whole piece. I might have to make Hamza a mod for that.
Pass out? How embarrassing. He looks around, finding his tweezers and his flashlight on the ground next to him. But no matter where he looks, he can't see the insect anymore. Where did it go? He returns to the crack in the wall for a second look, but sees nothing. Absently, the exterminator rubs his nose. He feels a vague discomfort in his sinuses, and he wonders if maybe his allergies are acting up. But otherwise, he remembers nothing about his bizarre experience. He gropes his fingers into the crack and waves around, hoping to find some evidence of the missing insect. There's nothing there. Well, at least he knows what he's doing, and it's definitely no cockroach. Eventually, he shrugs his shoulders helplessly and returns upstairs. Did you find the cockroaches? Asks the old woman when he returns to the top of the stairs. I know there are roaches down there. He shakes his head. Ma'am, I searched the whole basement and I didn't find any cockroaches. Finding the basement was a harmless cricket. The old woman starts to argue with him, insisting that what she saw in her basement was no cricket. The exterminator has already...
Chill, bro. Stop spamming.
He thought that she would be happy to hear that she doesn't have roaches. Now she just wants to make a fuss. He's not going to waste any more time on this nonsense, not when he has real work to do. He shakes his head as he repacks his equipment and prepares to leave. The exterminator returns to his truck and turns the ignition. As he pulls away, his mind is already mulling his next job. He doesn't have another question on this crappy old woman and her paranoia about cockroaches. He doesn't stop to wonder what became of that strange cricket head from. Probably just crawl back into the wall and things. He certainly would have no reason to think that the cricket is still with him, a new and permanent hitchhiker inside his head. The exterminator had just acquired a new life.
I don't want to do that stuff.
SCP-2119 is a life-saving creature that resembles a small gray insect, ranging 5 to 15 centimeters in length, with a segmented body, 6 jointed head, and from the head and implements that resemble antennae and ovipositors respectively. However, SCP-2119 does not appear to reproduce by any means intermittent, so these ovipositors are likely simply a form of mimicry, something added to give SCP-2119 the appearance of a common insect to make it conspicuous to humans. Genetic testing has determined that the organisms are largely identical to the Gryllus rubens, otherwise known as the southwestern field cricket. One notable difference between SCP-2119 and a field cricket, though, is that SCP-2119, also known as the transmitting parasite, has 6 barbed hooks on the underside of its body. Strangely, SCP-2119 also contains mechanical parts. Platinum wire, leading Foundation researchers to assume that SCP this moment, who made SCP-2119 and why? When they released it. In many ways, SCP-2119 not only looks like a normal insect, but also acts like one. It apparently possesses extremely rudimentary self-awareness and intelligence comparable to that of its insect brethren, being able to sense potential hosts or detect danger. It displays many normal self-preservation instincts common to insect life. If discovered by a conscious human, it will flee or hide, but it does possess one self-defense measure that no normal insect does. Any human who comes into the proximity of SCP-2119 will start to feel drowsy, eventually succumbing to unconsciousness within 3 to 8 minutes. Will enter their head, either through the nostrils or the ear canal, and eventually make its way to the subject's brain. Attach itself to the cortical which are the nerve fibers that permit communication between the left and right side of the brain. The human subject will eventually wake up with no memory. After waking, the subject will return to their normal routine and continue living just as if they were unaffected. It does not appear that infection of the parasite causes any physical, mental, or psychological damage. All attempts to physically remove SCP-2119 from the host's brain have so far resulted in the death of the host, as SCP-2119 appears to have some way of altering the host's brain activity when it's threatened. Once a host is dead, SCP-2119 will exit the host's head, again either via the nostrils or ear canal, when it determines that no other humans are in the area. Once SCP-2119 has taken up residence in the host's brain, it will start broadcasting a 514.1875 megahertz radio signal with a range of approximately 3 kilometers.
It's alright for the dual placeholder.
Possibly with the intent of locating other infected human hosts. Once a connection has been established, specimens will transmit a continuous stream of tones of variable lengths between instances, ranging from 70 Hz to 1,305 Hz, with wavelengths ranging from 480 centimeters to 25 centimeters. Foundation personnel
Do your grandma. I gotta get a placeholder.
Svinina Bombardino.
most insidious of all, SCP-2119, seems able to spontaneously manifest inside human brains, without ear or nose. Those close to the proximity of an infected host have a 14% chance of spontaneously manifesting an instance of SCP-2119 in their own brains. Since SCP-2119 has no visible means of reproduction, exactly how it does this continues to baffle Foundation scientists. SCP-2119 specimens are stored individually in hermetically sealed tanks composed of RF
Yo,
and only removed for testing.
850.
Tests are to be conducted in hermetically sealed chambers
350.
composed of steel-reinforced concrete walls to block SCP-2119.
I'm about to hold on.
All
I'm trying to treat you real quick.
specimens of SCP-2119 are required to wear
Send me another duel.
hazardous material suits to protect them from infection. SCP-2119 was quickly updated from Euclid to Keter designation after a peculiar incident where all known hosts suddenly ceased all movement, respiration, and brain activity, effectively dying. After 7 minutes and 12 seconds, the subjects revived with no effect from their apparent deaths and no memory of the incident. During the 7-minute interval, though, the transmitting parasites ceased broadcasting their usual static noises and instead broadcast what appears to have been a casual workplace conversation between 2 technicians working for whatever entity manufactures SCP-2119. All subjects infected with SCP-2119 began to emit a strange scraping noise from their throats, which agents later determined was the sound of a chair being dragged.
I gotta overpay for this.
After this, subjects
Because I don't have anything else.
between 2 technicians who appeared to be oblivious to the fact that their words were being transmitted. During this conversation, the 2 technicians
I'm gonna do 300 more for hits. Because I don't have really nothing else to offer.
and afterwards, one of the 2
Hit me.
broadcast abruptly ended when one of the 2 technicians suddenly noticed that they were live at the feed. The name
Garama and Madundang.
Foundation's only clue as to who or what is manufacturing SCP. So far, all investigations into determining Red's identity have been unsuccessful. It is currently impossible to estimate how many people in the general SCP-2119, but considering how contagious the parasite is, it is thought to be extremely widespread.
Garama and Madundang.
Containment of SCP-2119. Yourself. It's not as if you
Bro! Why it take me so long to get up, bro?
Garama and Madundang.
He hasn't heard from the delivery driver Jorge in days. And on top of it all, the rancher heads out.
The flames go insane.
She froze. She whistles, but she doesn't look back. She just carries on barking up that road into the snowy night. The rancher wades through the snow and peers in the direction she's looking. There's nothing there. Get inside. She's insisting.
Garama and Madundang.
Is that? The rancher stops running. He races towards the figure as fast as he can. His frozen fingers fumble the zipper on his parka. Icy wind stabs the insides of his lungs. Parasol shoots off ahead of him. And wrestles the thick coat off of his shoulders just as he reaches the tiny figure. He puts the face in and throws the coat over the shoulders of the little girl standing alone.
Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Again, he wraps it tightly around her, pulling the hood up over her head.
Oh goodness.
And gives her a shake. You okay? Hello? Can you hear me? The girl sways for a moment, then collapses.
Bro,
Catches her.
I can never pick it up.
Takes off back down the road in the direction of his farm.
Where's little bro gone?
How did she come from? There are no buildings around here for miles. No one uses that road except Jorge. And in this weather, she couldn't have walked all the way over those mountains. She'd have frozen solid. With his bare hand, he clasps one of hers.
Garama and
Oh my
Madundang.
god.
Frozen solid already.
Executed perfectly.
Kicks open the front door and bundles
Holy.
anxious dog at his heels. The fire's not quite dead yet, so he rushes over to the hearth and lays the little girl down next to it.
Garama and Madundang.
Wrapped up in his enormous coat. She doesn't seem to be moving. Ma, I'm home. I found someone.
Garama and Madundang.
Inside and throws them onto the fire. He piles kindling high on top of them, blows steadily into the embers at the bottom. They glow and swell in size. No taking yet. He blows again for longer, and again. He feels his head starting to swim. A crackle, a flick of flame. Panting, he turns back to the bundled up coat on the floor with the child inside. Still no movement. A sickening knot tightens his stomach. What if she's... No, don't let yourself think that. Not yet.
Garama and Madundang.
The zipper on the parka. His trembling fingers push back the hood. She's pale, deathly pale. Her dark brown hair is dense and clings to her. Her lips are frozen. At a guess, she must only be 9 years old. Eyes closed, lips a sickening blue. But that's not the
Garama and Madundang.
on her neck. There's red. Delicately as he can, the rancher takes the coat off her shoulders and hangs it up by the fire. She's dressed only in a plaid shirt, way too big for her. Years ago. But on her neck, same deep red.
So lower than the first herb?
He looks back.
Maybe.
He's seen that much blood.
Garama and Madundang.
When you work with cattle, it's an unfortunate part.
Lucky.
He's seen cows bleed out during childbirth. The girl in front of him, she's the same color as those calves that lie crying.
Holy lucky.
A groaning sound fills the room. He wants to look across the lawn chair where Mom sits. She just stares into the fire, same way she always does. Ma groans again, trying to express something she doesn't understand. Being... Ma, it's okay. Sorry for starting. You have a guest with us. But she just keeps on groaning and staring.
Holy moly.
The rancher buries his head in his hands and lets out a deep breath.
That lucky ass flame. I mean, lucky ass,
Garama and
he would've
Madundang.
lost that.
Battling and grasping for damaged child's throat, trying his best to keep its host alive. The rancher opens his eyes and
Garama and
She
Madundang.
isn't conscious, not unconscious, but she's breathing.
He would have won if he made it.
The icicles in her
What
hair
is bro
turn
doing?
into rounded droplets of water that glow by the heat of the fire. He snaps back to his senses. He's not doing her much if she's just lying there soaking wet. He runs off upstairs, grabs some towels and a fresh clean shirt to wear. After several minutes of drying her off, he's confident enough that he's got most of the water off. There's still a lot of blood kicked through his hand, but as far as he can tell, there's no wound anywhere that it could have come from. Brow furrowed, he leaves her under a bundle of blankets and fills up the kettle with water. Hanging carefully over the fire, he walks over to the cabinet,
Garama and Madundung.
GG's mud.
Forget one game. Now you choose which slots to spins on. Exclusively on DraftKings Casino. All players play for your daily share of 100 million questions. Choose on over 100 slots.
Dr. Amos Pepper. When COVID hit, she stepped up, saving thousands of lives, and moving healthcare to communities that had been left behind. She's stepping up to take on Donald Trump in Congress. She'll break it all ice and fast with it all. Dr. Amos Pepper.
Nemo, join the PS. We can do it.
Now swap a savory steak patty and get a breakfast sandwich for just $5.
At Raymore Flanagan, we carry brands built for real rest, including the luxurious new king foil mattresses by Drew and Jonathan Home, and the unparalleled value of our new line Sleep by Raymore Flanagan. Ready to feel the difference? Visit a sleep center to take a free comfort test. From plush to firm and everything in between, we'll help you find your perfect match. Sleep better, feel better, live better. At Raymore Flanagan.
He would make it with milk, but she's probably dehydrated. Lifting the kettle's lid with a poker, the rancher pours the brown powder inside and waits for it to boil. The little girl's eyes are open now. She's staring into the flames. Her lips are looking
GG, Mr. Kitty
a
Pop.
little more blotchy. You're safe.
What's up,
Just
Aladi?
sit by the fire and warm up a bit. You like cocoa? The little girl drags her eyes away from the flames. Her expression is mostly blank. She looks too tired to be confused. I don't know. You will. Ma always gave me cocoa. Okay. And with that, the farmhouse falls flat. The little girl stares into the fire. The rancher
Well, I turned it off because I was about to do another. I was about to PvP a streamer in my PS. He didn't want to do duels because he's too naggy, so we would do my PS. He joins first.
occasionally licking her toes to try and warm them up. By the morning, the snow stopped, but the huge drifts remain. As the rancher walks across to the barn, he finds it hard to believe that just a few hours ago, the winds were whipping at his face as hard as they were. The world this morning was totally still. What the rancher finds even harder to believe is that there's a little girl in his house right now, fast asleep by the fire.
Nah, he wouldn't do bodyguards.
This morning,
Plus, he wouldn't do anything. He's live. But I don't want to do his PS.
where did she come from? Maribel didn't get up this morning. From all the excitement last night, she must have been too tired for today. Welcome to the crisp morning air. Can't even blame her. He shoulders the barn door open. A column of steam curls out of the opening. All of that warmth, humidity, and cattle smell is strangely comforting this morning. But as the rancher goes around checking
Drama.
the house inside, he very quickly discovers a problem. They're thin. Way too thin. Some of them are on the verge of starvation. He missed it last night as he drove them down in the dark, but in the warm glow of the barn's light,
Joe. Oh my god.
haven't been eating properly. He pours out several sacks of grain for them into the troughs, and they all gather around hungrily, filling both their stomachs as fast as they can. The rancher leaves on the railing for a moment.
What else? One more ad. Alright, bet I'll do this.
Plenty of green grass for them up on the ridge. That's why he's taking them up there. They should have had
Oh my god, 3 grams. Let's go.
Coco fanto elefanto.
Jesus.
You had a few questions about the
Yeah, Fidel can play so if he scams, just tell me.
at all. Not that the rancher could tell. But now, looking at them, it's clear as day. Something's up. You hungry? They sit across the table from one another, eating homemade bread and soup. Ma saves over the fire. Mary Bell stares over the kitchenette. Where you going? The girl shrugs her shoulders. You know how you got out here? Remember everything from last night? The little girl just eats her soup and shakes her head. She doesn't look particularly scared or worried, just a little confused.
Bro, better not have 200 plus ping.
Treno Struzzo Turbo 3000.
Again, the little girl shrugs. The rancher sits back and shows his mouth. He's trying to call into town, but his phone line's gone out. Not but the smoke clears. We've got a good relationship with the police around here. He explains
What do you want in PvP in my PS?
okay. What do you know? You remember anything from last night? It was dark. The girl slurps her soup. I was hungry. Then I saw the light and I went towards that. My car? No. Well, yes, later on it was your car, but before it wasn't. What was the light then?
Where were you?
What would you win a PvP in my PS?
The light. Now he's even more confused. But try as he might, the rancher can't figure any of it out. And try as she might, a little girl can't remember anything more precise than that. The pair of them hop into the car and drive back out up the road that afternoon. The snow is falling so high.
Chill, this is unfair.
The previous night, the clear track. Sure, when he brought her out here looking for her.
It's crazy, bro.
He almost laughs at himself.
This is an unfair PvP. My ping is so high right now.
He could work on understanding who she is and how to get her. There's the damage to the phone line. One of the masts has collapsed, sagging heavily on the lines. That's not something he can fix on his own. No, sir. Looks like he'll have to wait for the snow to melt before making any phone calls again. That could be in 1 week. That could be in 3 months.
Cerberus.
He glances at
Well, I'm not moving up.
Cerberus.
maybe stuck together for a while.
Crazy. Holy clip. You're done. You're done.
Slams on the brakes and it comes to a stop just in time. A large chunk of snow in front of them comes loose and slips off the side of the road. It tumbles down into a gully that he hadn't even spotted. With all this snow on the ground, he has no frame of reference. Everything is just
He has, guess what? He has 4K sub. He's so cooked. Oh my god, he's so cooked. I was at high ass ping. He won't sit there and scam me. That's fucking crazy.
the rancher creeps over and enters the gully. It's bigger than he thought, much bigger. It continues down more and more sharply for a few hundred feet, all the way down into a... no. There's a semi down there. A big, warped and bent line.
Just a glance is enough to tell the rancher it's Jorge's, but he just keeps staring at it in disbelief. It can't be. But it is. Stay in the car. The rancher reaches
Past the little girl and into the back seat. Grabbing a pair of crampons and some rope, he straightens up and looks at the girl.
She's serious. He can see the concern on her face. Stay in the car.
By the time the rancher makes it down to the truck, his legs and back,
Shancy, what's your, or I'm gonna accept your username.
24 hours is going to start taking its toll sooner or later. But some things have to be done. He pauses by the door. It's on its side. We'll have to climb up onto it and try to open the door. So everyone to the inside of Jorge's truck. The cabin that the rancher is so used to seeing and sitting in.
Oh, I'm gonna trust him. No, don't. Wait.
Sprinkled across every surface with a
Hold on for that. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna trust him one more time.
There, in the midst of it all, Jorge's body. It dangles like a limp carcass at a butcher shop.
like the cows he hangs in the slaughterhouse.
Like those cows, a large chunk of Jorge is missing. His back stomach is gone, not just cut open, but gone. The tops of his thighs, too, and much of his chest. So much of him is just missing. Open arteries and lifeless nerves dangle in place. It must have been a hell of a crash.
Oh, I still have another one down here. I forgot.
And pulls Jorge's cap down over his eyes. Not much else to be done.
Yo, this ping is crazy.
But as the rancher climbs up the valley, his mind starts to connect some dots.
Suddenly a sick feeling in his stomach. He's seen that much blood somewhere else, or rather, on someone else, just last night. He slams the door of the pickup shut and starts to drive back down the track. Since the snow stopped, all of the drifts that he cleared earlier
One more chance,
it's
bro.
only a minute drive back down to the farm.
If he scams this time, I'm just not gonna PvP him.
Away, and neither does the little girl. She clearly senses something's up. The sick feeling in his stomach remains. He pulls up the handbrake, and the two of them sit in silence outside the farmhouse. There's a truck in that valley. Did you know that? Yes. Is that where you came from last night? I don't remember. See, the rancher stops. Jorge didn't have any kids. What was he doing in this truck? I don't know. Was he? The rancher can't bring himself to accuse his best friend of the words that almost left his mouth. You think you might not remember because something bad happened to you? I don't know. The rancher closes his eyes for a long moment. Silence fills the pickup.
It's that. But inside wasn't the safe haven he'd been hoping for. Mom's been throwing up.
Not just once, but a few times. She's distressed, groaning aimlessly for someone to come and save her. Maribel is pacing around the room, yelping and whining. The rancher immediately goes upstairs to get some rags to clean up with. Perfect timing, as usual. But he stops in his tracks when he comes back down. His mom stops moaning. The little girl is kneeling by the armchair, holding the old lady's hand. The room is calm. The little girl gently places the frail hand back on the hand. He comes over to take the rags from the rancher. Returning to the old lady, the girl goes about mopping her up as best she can. Maribel slumps back down on the floor. That is how the four of them exist for the next few days. Mom gets sicker steadily, but the little girl stays by her side all day long, caring for her in every way. The rancher's glad of that. It gives him the time he needs to help his cows and son. None of them are in good shape. Whatever it is, they're still getting thinner. He feeds them all the grain they normally need, and then some, and they always finish it off. Yet none of them are getting any fatter. The rancher leans on the railing, trusty dog by his side. His energy is starting to really lag behind what he needs. The last couple of days,
Wait, bro, I don't need spinning hammies.
totally taken it out of him.
Shanty, wait.
I think it is Maribel. He looks down at his little friend. She looks thinner too, actually, but she's been eating just fine. It hits him. Tapeworms. As soon as the word comes into his head, it makes total sense. His house, his entire herd, has been riddled with tapeworms. Oh, hell. He hasn't got anywhere near the amount of medicine needed to give some to all of them. Even if he did, a lot of them are looking pretty far gone. The chance of reinfection would be high. He needs supplies. He needs board hay. Maribel whines softly next to him. He knows what they have to do. Laying Maribel down carefully by the fire, the rancher administers the tapeworm medicine. For a few hours, they lie there together. He strokes her side, waiting for her to pass it. The little girl watches over his shoulder. His mom sits back in her chair, mumbling to herself. He hasn't talked to the little girl. He isn't sure what there is to say. Maybe he should ask if Jorge was sick. After all, the cows clearly had these tapeworms set before the
Cerberus.
Jorge may have picked up contaminated meat from them last time he came. Maybe. Maribel passes the worm on the rug. This is... He uses the tongs next to the fire to pick the worm up. It's long and pale. And dead. He tosses it into the fire and puts the tongs in the flames for a bit to sterilize them. The worm sizzles and pops in the flames. The sound makes his stomach.
Cerberus.
The rancher glances around and sees the little girl staring at the tapeworm.
I don't hack. I don't hack. I don't hack. I don't hack.
Returning next. The morning reveal. It's too late. Mom's groans turn into cries of pain. She openly sobs by the fire, clutching at her stomach. Every time the rancher tries to give her the medicine,
Cerberus.
she just vomits it back out. Each time she vomits, there's more and more blood mixed in. The little girl gets more and more upset. It's not fair on her to have to witness something this traumatic and disgusting. There's nowhere else for her to go. At all. The fact that she is, she has to help. That's all there is to it. By sunrise, his mom has passed away. There is nasty red bruising all across her abdomen, which tells him she must have bled out internally from this worm. He'd been too late to realize what was wrong. Too late with the cows, and too late with his mom. He covers his mom with a blanket and tells the little girl not to go and wash her hands. He needs to check on the cattle. Sure enough, during the night, a handful of them died too. The calves. They were the ones to go first whenever something like this happened. Mother cows stood over
Cerberus.
licking their heads, willing them to wake up. The rancher as the carcass to cry. When the rancher comes back into the house, it's full of noise, a noise that takes his brain a long time to comprehend. Crying, but not his own, not the little girl either. No, it was a new sound. It was a baby, a newborn child screaming at the top of its lungs. The rancher knows what he's looking at. The little girl is sitting at the hearth with Maribel at her feet, in her arms drenched in blood. He is a baby. The girl looks up at him and smiles sweetly. It's a boy. Then she turns around to his mom's body under the blanket. A thickening red patch soaks through the fabric, right over where her stomach would be.
Whoa. Shanty. Nobody calls me mine unless people. Wait. Who are you?
This is largely because
Nobody calls me mine unless those people.
from Echinococcus granulosus,
Alright.
a variety of tapeworm
Way to build Peacock, no thanks. Unless you're doing it.
Micro-habits, micro-wins, even microdose GLP-1s.
And starting at just $99? Heck yeah.
Now starting at just $99. Consumer Reports used vote tests, vulnerabilities, and safety ratings to name Subaru their 2025 most reliable and best overall automotive brand, and the Ascent a recommended model. In 2.5
Cerberus.
CPR, the 2026 Subaru Ascent. There's Subaru, a lot to love there.
Hang on a second.
Cerberus.
Yes, it is. Here at the school vet, it's not just a treatment, it's personal.
I'm too high paying to move up that far up, bro.
No gimmicks. Control from tip off to buzz meter. New players get a first bet reset up to 1,000. The score bet, download now.
Cerberus.
Designated SCP-1003-1 follows the same life cycle as other regular worms. Its eggs come into contact with an animal through contaminated surfaces and are ingested. Once inside the gut, they grow and latch onto the inside of the gut, past them, steadily growing bigger and stronger. Once mature, they lay eggs, which pass out in the animal's excrement to continue the process. Infections, unsanitary conditions amongst livestock, and can often be difficult to contain, as by the time the symptoms, nausea, weight loss, fever, start to manifest in the infected, the worms have likely already reproduced and have a new
Cerberus.
generation growing in the guts of other animals. As far as the creation is aware, SCP-1003 follows this normal pattern in all observed animals. As soon as ingests an egg from this tapeworm, a very different creature starts to grow in their gut.
Cerberus.
The rate of their growth is greatly accelerated, however. At just 8 weeks, they are as mature as the typical 3-week-old neonate or newborn child, although similar in size to an 8-week-old embryo at 13 to 16 centimeters. Many eggs usually enter this fertilization period, but almost all of them die before having a chance to develop much beyond the early stages. They stand the best chance of survival when buried in hepatic tissue, where they absorb plenty of nutrients from their host. The host at this point usually starts to experience mild symptoms. Stomach cramp, nothing particularly severe. Yet, the embryos that survive soon develop rows of temporary, razor-sharp teeth. At this point, passively absorbing nutrients is no longer enough for them. They bury their
At least he didn't cheat that time.
and begin to eat. Once they enter this stage, their rate of growth increases exponentially.
Cerberus.
Bro, it's so hard playing on 200 ping.
Burrowing out into the world,
Like, actually.
is born drenched
I have to rejoin the server.
The size
Oh, wait.
and current age of the child that emerges are determined by the size of the person they consume. For example, the child eating its way out of the rancher's maw appeared to be only a 10-month-old child, as there was very little of the frail old woman for it to eat. By contrast, the little girl who emerged from Jorge's gut had plenty of fat to feast on, and so was able to grow to the size of a 9-year-old. Once the child emerges, the teeth that they used to eat their way out quickly become loose and are replaced by regular teeth. The children themselves have no memory at all of where they come from or what they are.
I forgot to turn it off for friends. Wait.
Linguistic skills that a regular child would possess at their age. Nothing, aside from their DNA, marks them out as being any different from the children around them. Blissfully ignorant, just like the children around them. It is theorized that many of these children end up in orphanages. With no birth certificates or identifiable parents, they fall through gaps in the system, quickly lost to the world. The only way to really track them at all is to follow the infections they cause. You see, these tapeworm children have one final curse they must live with. Their bodily fluids, their saliva, and sweat contain the same tapeworm protozoa that will develop into SCP-1003-1 as soon as it is ingested by another creature.
If I can place for what are you putting up?
Again. If you want to track down a tapeworm child, and I highly advise that you don't, all you have to do is follow the trail of nasty stomach infections, internal bleeding, and fruit pregnancies amongst the outcasts of society. It, unfortunately, will not take long. There are currently 10 instances of SCP-1003-2 in containment. The children live in Bioresearch Area 13 under strict supervision. Researchers are only permitted to enter their cells whilst wearing full-body biohazard suits, but first must have level 4 security clearance and must have written permission, and can only enter with specific research goals agreed upon.
All staff are regularly in their system. No other enemies are permitted in this facility. The rest is struck, sticking its fangs through the furry carapace of the tarantula. It rides briefly on the golden sands, then goes limp. The desert is a brutal place. Here, it's eat or be eaten. A man walks through a remote desert landscape, a pack on his back. The sun dips down over the horizon, a welcome reprieve from the heat, but bringing its own threats. The dangers of the day may be gone for now, but the dangers of the night are just beginning. As he walks, he hears a
Nah, it's only 2 grown.
he turns. By the dim light of the moon, he sees a as if blown by a storm. There's no wind. Frightened, he tries to run, but the dune gains on him until he is after a moment, the sand splits, revealing nothing left but a skeleton. The dune travels off into the distance, disappearing from view. The desert is an unforgiving place for a traveler. The days are hot and dry, waking up to the relentless heat of the sun. The nights are cold and just as inhospitable as the desert's wild inhabitants come out of hiding, ready to attack any perceived threats or invaders. The year is 1908, and a cavalry troop on their way back to base are getting a crash course in just how brutal the Arizona desert can be. The trip has taken longer than anticipated, and their horses are growing sluggish from thirst, trudging slower and slower through the dust and sand. The soldiers' eyes sting from the sun, the heat, and the lack of proper sleep. They need a place to
Ooh,
hang
Sammy, what you trying to do, son?
Giraffa celestre.
Diamond Fat Sammy for sure. Duel. I'll do that as a duel, not a trade. That's an L for me.
Further down the road, only 1 mile left to Fredericksburg, it said. They would be able to reach the town by sundown, a welcome reprieve from sleeping on the ground and watching their supplies dwindle day by day. The miles seem to stretch out forever, but they persist and reach the town of Fredericksburg. They weren't exactly expecting a welcome. They're still shocked by how tepid a reception is waiting for them. Here they are, members of the Army Cavalry, and no one is out to greet them, or even to see who the strange men in uniform on horses might be. As a matter of fact, men don't they stop at the town square, slamming down their horses, shouting at the top of their lungs. Still, no doors, no windows or crowd. No one wants to see what all the commotion was.
Doug, Doug, Doug.
The only evidence that anyone was ever there at all is the buildings themselves, and a few
Remember, Sammy's open. What's for Fat Sammy? 300 below me if you want to duel.
speaking of German troops. If they could, they would probably leave
Come here.
the town as soon as possible, hop on their horses and gallop away into the
Where can I index Fat Sammy?
become a ghost town. The more they see of the town, the more they think he might be right. The buildings are still in good condition. There's no one inside. It's as if the entire town got up one day and decided to leave it all behind. Then it sat untouched until the cavalry came. So one of the other men noticed, what should they do? The plan doesn't have to change, one suggests. The man in the town is far better.
Oh my god.
Near the edge of town, they found a tavern and their drink. They're made of plenty of beds, and a few unopened bottles behind the bar. That's more than enough for the night. So they tie up the horses, have a few drinks, sing a few drinking songs, and settle in for what is sure to be the best sleep they can have in many days. They're so exhausted and so eager to find shelter, that they stop in one moment that it caused the residents of the town to abandon their homes. Ghost towns don't go nowhere after all. Have to be amazed. But exhaustion is a powerful.
Well, for not to start 850, nah, but what you gonna copy now? I'll duel, send me a duel. Username is pinned. Is he running straight? Anyone got drag? Anyone got drag? I'll do my Doug deck for dragon ads. You're not getting this, bro.
Nubini Pizzanini.
Bro, they just say yes to everything.
Lucky block. Lucky block.
Laying down their heads. The insistent, nervous pounding of their hearts is keeping them awake. They are suddenly acutely aware that the complete silence
Lucky block.
can't hear anything but their own breathing. Shallow. Then suddenly another sound breaks through the quiet. It's a soft sound, like a tide rushing ashore.
Lucky block.
Flow of something. A gentle scraping sound. What is that?
Lucky block.
Doesn't sound like any wind they've ever heard. Well, it's coming from inside the building. It's getting
Lucky block.
One curious soldier climbs out of bed to seek out the source of the noise. He opens the door to his room, pointing to make out shapes among the shadows.
Lucky block.
He thinks the motel must be flooded. It's pouring into the hall, spilling across the floor and flowing closer and closer. But as it approaches,
Lucky block.
it seems that it isn't water at all. It's sand. You can't see where it's coming from or how it came into the building in the first place. That doesn't
Lucky
matter.
block.
It's slowly filling the building, and more importantly, it seems to be headed straight for him. Instinctively, he jumps back into his room, slamming the
Lucky block.
flood of sand. He didn't count to the trap on the floor. And as he follows, the sand begins spilling into his room from beneath.
Lucky block.
It moves as if it were alive, creeping across the floor toward him. He scrambles backward.
Lucky block.
To avoid the tide of sand. Still, he advances closer and closer, piling up until he can reach him there.
Lucky block.
This is no ordinary thing. It isn't just filling the room with the urging of gravity. Some sort of
Lucky block.
It's deliberately creeping, advancing, hunting. He glances around the room, desperate for a means of escape.
Lucky block.
The only way out is the door, blocked by the ever-increasing tide of sand. He rises to the height of the bed, spilling up through the
Lucky block.
preparing to engulf him. He isn't certain what will happen to him when it does. He's looked death in the face enough times to recognize it on sight.
Lucky block.
The sand has covered his feet now, climbing up his legs, ready to cover his body with strong sway.
Lucky block.
His mouth to scream, and sand pours through his lips, filling his throat and lungs. He collapses onto the bed under the weight of the assault.
Lucky block.
Bad GM is where you leave ordinary for something a little more interesting.
Lucky block.
Games, like The Price is Right and Rankin Baker. Or in the center of it all, live dealer classes.
But some bullshit, I swear to God.
Lucky block.
They drawing.
Make it Vegas, almost anywhere. BetMGM Casino. Make it legendary.
Lucky block.
He's so mad he got the fucking chair.
One of the sleeping soldiers wakes to the sound of a scream from the next room. He goes to sit up, but finds his arm is strangely heavy. He looks over and is shocked to see that his arm is covered with sand. The sand is moving, undulating on his arm like a swarm of tiny creatures. He tries to shake them loose. For some reason, his arm feels paralyzed. With his other hand, he swipes at the sand, brushing it away as quickly as possible to reveal the arm beneath. He can see it. He wishes he couldn't. Bone, a skeleton hand poking from beneath the sleeve of his nightshirt. He flies into a blind panic, stumbling out of bed, his bone arm dangling useless at his side, and fumbles with the doorknob, desperate to escape. But the sand is relentless, already swirling around his feet, weighing him down. Before he can take a single step out of the room, the swarm of sand overtakes him. He is buried in a living grave. Throughout the hotel, once thought to be abandoned, but now clearly occupied by something hungry. Men flee their rooms. As they run, they see more and more sand pouring into the walls like waves and waves of water, ready to drown them. They pull on their boots to protect their bare feet and sprint as fast as their legs will carry them.